Hey guys, so I just wanted to do a very quick comparison here between the Moto G5 Plus on the right and the Lenovo P2 phones, because these are very comparable actually in terms of what they bring to the table. You're getting your Android at a very affordable price level. They both actually come from the same company as well, but this one is Moto branded. So I think some people might be wondering, is it worth it to get the P2 here with a massive battery, 6000 rated, as well as slightly more RAM and a beautiful AMOLED display? Or is it worth it getting the Moto G5 Plus with an arguably better camera, 1.7 aperture, as well as more kind of familiar interface here, like more stock like pixel interface? And I gotta say, there are some reasons to consider each handset. First, we can talk about the displays here, which is obviously the main thing, which I do notice, which is different here. The display on the P2 completely blows away the Moto G5 Plus here in terms of the contrast level, in terms of the viewing angles, etc. I mean, look at those deep kind of blacks and inky colours that you do get, whereas on this one they've kind of gone down a little bit in terms of the quality with the G5 Plus, and I'm not 100% sure why. It's not a huge deal, you'll get used to the screen quite quickly, but the P2 is outfitted with a very good display considering the price here. I think they're both about 5.5 inches, but the display on the P2 looked a little bit bigger to me for some reason, a little bit better for consuming content. The actual build of each phone is comparable. I think the G5 Plus has slightly nicer build to it in terms of the curves around here. It feels quite premium. It is a little bit plasticky at the same time, so they definitely skimped a little bit when it comes to the actual the quality of the materials, but I think in terms of the actual build, it does feel a little bit nicer in the hand compared to the P2. The P2 in itself feels very strong. It is made of some sort of aluminium in itself, and arguably feels a little bit more weighty than the Moto G5 Plus. Got a nice chamfering around the edges here, and doesn't have a sticky out camera, which is also a bonus. Both of them missed the ball here when it comes to the charging ports using the old connector, which is a bit annoying. They both have fingerprint scanners, which work about comparable in terms of the usability. I think they also do support the active display, so we do have that on the Moto G5 Plus. Do we have that on the P2? I can't actually 100% remember. Let's just double check that, because we want to see if that is the case here. So if we just go into display and do we have it? I don't think we do actually. Maybe I'm missing the setting, but I think that is something to consider here, like a key differentiator, that you do get the Moto display on the Moto branded phones, which is very good for checking the battery life with a nice circle which comes up, as well as useful information at the end of the day. So that is something to consider here. I think the P2 does strike back though with the massive battery, which is, as I said, 6000 mAh. I've been unable to actually drain the phone in one day. Even 2 days, you'd be finding it quite difficult. Whereas the G5 Plus does come with a slightly more modest 3000 battery, which is actually quite good at staying. Both come with Snapdragon 625, very efficient processor, not the most powerful. Both coming with fast charging, turbocharging. Really, with these massive battery phones, actually, I think they're a little bit pointless, because really, you got phones like the G5 Plus which come with a good battery, but they also come with other areas such as a good camera. And I find that a lot of these big battery phones, they skimp when it comes to the camera technology, focusing too much on the battery. So the next thing I want to talk about is the actual camera, which is the G5 Plus completely destroys the P2 here. If you're into taking a few shots, this camera is going to really serve you well. It's got fast autofocus, You know, the colours, etc., look fantastic. The low light's decent. It's showing the same sensor as the Samsung latest handsets, so you know you are going to get good performance here. You're also getting your 4K video recording, which is nice. The P2 does come with 4K as well as its own camera system, which I have got a few good shots out of, but the main problem it has is like focusing. It can be very temperamental in terms of the focusing, as well as keeping the shot steady. When you do take the shot, like now and again you'll see it comes out blurry here. You can see that was perfect in terms of me lining it up, but it still came out blurry for some reason. So a little bit of shame when it comes to the camera on the P2. You get the job done most of the time, but the G5 Plus is in a league of its own in terms of the price for the camera. Both of them don't come with any waterproofing, I don't think. Maybe the G5 Plus does come with some protection. Let's just double check here on the fly, because I'm not 100% sure actually. So yeah, I don't think it does come with water. I think it has a nano coating on it, similar to older Moto phones, so no full waterproofing, which is a bit of a shame. You know, you would like to see that, I think, because we did have it on the older Moto G handsets. So both of them obviously skimping there, but nevertheless I think there's definitely some reasons to consider each phone here. I think generally most people are going to have a better experience with the G5 Plus because it runs more pixel-like interface here. The camera is way better, the battery is good enough, and it feels a bit nicer in the hand. But then again, you know, if you look at it from the screen perspective as well, if you need the absolute beast battery life, 3-4 days, and the P2 itself is, you know, got some nice things here. The only thing which I would notice, I've actually noticed about the P2 is that they bumped the price up because it was like a steal here in Europe. It was like €200 when they first released it. Now they bumped it up to €300 because they realized like how good value the phone was. You're also getting 4 gigs of RAM, which is nice compared to I think 3 gigs in this particular model. So you know, definitely some reasons to consider each phone here. I think this one also supports the dual SIM arrangement as well, so if you do have, you know, another SIM that you want to use, you can do that with the P2. But you know, I think they're both good phones overall, and you know, definitely have some strengths and weaknesses here. Yeah, let me know which one's your favorite. You know, definitely interested to know. Hope you enjoyed the video, found it helpful, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.